is my model, the picture that I took from the Such a Shame video, and I wanted to paint that. And here is what I've been doing today. You know what? At a point, I think that I spent a lot of time doing it today, and at a point we must stop. And it's always better to come and check the next day, because we always find things which are wrong, which are not exactly what we wanted. I'm very glad with what I did here. I think it's very true to what I see on the photo. I painted also again my dice, and I added some more brownish color on the letter, because I really want them to disappear in the painting almost. We must see what is written, but without seeing them obviously. You know, the face, it's the most difficult, because I need really to capture exactly his expression, and it's not very easy. So I'm done with my painting. I finished. I just have to sign my name, the year, the number, Mark David Hollis, number 2, because it's the second painting of Mark Hollis that I'm doing. I could have finished sooner. The problem is that it's the tax period here in the US right now. It just finished yesterday. It was the last day. The deadline was yesterday, and I didn't want to associate my painting to the taxes. Taxes makes me sick, so no. Basically what I did is the final coat, the second coat, and the details which come on this second coat. Because if you do only one coat, it's not enough. You can't have the depth that you get when you put 2 coats of oil paint. And you know, if you were painting with acrylics, it would be exactly the same. One coat is never enough, especially with acrylics, because with acrylic, when the water is evaporating from the paint, you start seeing the canvas behind on small dots, and we can see that it's not completely finished. But with oil I do it as well, because it's richer, it gives a nicer result. So that was, as I said before, my model. You know, it was not obvious to do, because the picture is not very precise. It's a little blurry, because I printed it from my computer, so it's not a true picture. So there are a lot of details that I don't have. I have to imagine. So not obvious. For example, I had some difficulties with his nose. He has a very specific nose, which is really typical of him, and I really wanted to do it right. And the nose that I did before was too straight and too thin, and not his nose at all. So yesterday I redid the nose, and I'm very happy, because I'm very close to what I see here now. The tie, the scarf, the color, that was very easy. And also I did this. So this is a stencil of the name of the logo, Vivo. You know, it's very difficult to draw a logo exactly perfectly just by hand like that. So what I did is that I printed the name Vivo in rather big on a piece of paper, and I cut, like to do a stencil basically, and then I put it on my canvas, and I will show you, and I painted it. not, of course, to do some advertising for Vivo. I absolutely don't care about Vivo. They are not my friends or anything. It's just that when I was watching, not now because it has been removed, but when I was watching this video, such a shame, I don't know if you hear it, I'm listening to it right now. When I was watching it on my computer on YouTube, there was this logo Vivo, and there was this logo when I started wanting to paint about Hollis, and when all this started. So now we can't see it anymore. It's not on Vivo videos anymore, but I still wanted this logo to be there because I want to remember how all this happened. I don't want to forget. Well, I don't think I will forget, but maybe when I get older and I lose my mind, maybe I will forget, and at least that will be a reminder. However, I did it very discreet because not too big on the canvas and also not too obvious about the color. I put some patina on it to make it almost disappear. I don't know if you can see it here. To make it almost like disappear in the background, because it's not the subject of the painting. The subject of the painting is really the face, Hollis' face. I started the drawing, the charcoal, in my shop, and then I brought the canvas here in my home because it was impossible for me to paint in my shop. I think this painting was a little too intimate, I would say. It's very strange to say that because I'm not a friend with Hollis, so there is nothing intimate with that. But for me, yeah, it was an intimate painting, something very personal, and I really couldn't paint that in front of people in my shop, people coming and or talking to me, or even watching me through the window. I really needed to be alone, and I actually worked better at night than in the day because it's calmer. What was not right, because I don't have a lot of light in the night, but you know, I checked with the light of the day and everything is fine. I didn't mess up anything, so I'm good. The next painting I will do will be about Tomorrow Started. So it's going to be a completely different painting because it's more a painting of imagination, of what I imagine when I listen to Tomorrow Started, what I see. It's not a portrait, it's not something that Talk showed us or anything. It's more listening to the music and translating what I see. So maybe I will do it in my shop, this one, because it's much less intimate, it's much more translating a music on a canvas to show to people. This is really for me, that is for me. Tomorrow Started, it's more to say, you see, this music is beautiful, look at what I see when I listen to it. And I would like to share this with you. I want you to pay attention to this music because this music conveys so much beauty that I can put something on the canvas which translates exactly the emotions that I'm feeling when I'm listening to this song. Tomorrow Started is a wonderful song that I really love and which gives me so many images. It's incredible, and already 30 years ago I had already all these images in my mind, but lately I passed in front of a place, a specific place, and I don't know why. It was every time I was passing in front of it, because I'm passing in front of it when I go to the post office by foot. So every time I was passing in front of this specific place, I was thinking tomorrow started. So I was thinking of the song Tomorrow Started. So I thought that it will have to be in my next painting. It's not going to be the whole painting, but it's going to be a part of my next painting. And after Tomorrow Started, I will do another portrait, not the same image, of course, another image. The problem is that a few days ago I was watching all the pictures, all the screenshots that I took of the video, and I was thinking which one, the next one. This one, it was easy because I wanted a comforting image, and it was the most comforting one, and I wanted it, and I have it now. But the next one, you know, I think that I would like an image where he's laughing or where he's playing dumb, but then I think, do I really want an image of someone playing dumb on my wall? I'm not sure. So, but still, if it makes me smile, if it makes me happy, why not? And you can't imagine how much I learn by doing this portrait, because it's a true exercise. It's something that I'm not so used to do. I did a lot of portraits of Jim Morrison and Keith Moon, and a little of Jimi Hendrix and of other people who are unknown. But you know, when I was painting Jim Morrison, it was more about his poetry and more about the birth of humanity. When I think of the Doors music or the Jim Morrison's poetry, I think of, yes, the roots of humanity, where we come from, the Native American spirit, things like that, more primitive, something very raw and primitive. When I paint about Hollis, it's not that at all. It's completely different. Everything is about him. It's him. Even his music is him. Everything is him. So I really have to translate his spirit, which is a very difficult task because I don't know him personally. So I may be completely wrong. Maybe I imagine something about him and he's not like that at all. But according to all what I read so far, I think that I must not be far from the truth, you know, because no, I'm not saying that Hollis is comical. He's just very funny sometimes, and in spite of a lot of sensibility and sadness also, there are a lot of things which are really, really very, very funny, and it's all this thing. I don't know why I hold that. It's all these things, the sadness with the funny part, with the sensibility, with the genius, all this package together that I want to translate on a canvas, and that is not easy. It's much more complicated than painting about Jim Morrison, who was probably a very complex man as well. But you know, Jim Morrison was a very beautiful man, but he didn't have the charm that Hollis has. There is something really very charming in this, and that's what is difficult to translate on a canvas, because the canvas is flat, and I want to translate the depth of the person, and the person is not flat, it's a human being. And well, okay, I'm becoming very complicated now. Maybe I will stop there. My next video will be about the video It's My Life, the UK and the US version. And I think that we will have a lot of fun, because just by preparing it and by thinking about it, I'm already laughing inside. And not only inside, I've been laughing yesterday evening. I found something on the net about that, and I was laughing alone, and I thought, okay, I must share that, because people need to laugh and I need to laugh too. So I will see you in my next video for a lot of fun, hopefully. I just wanted to say a last thing. It's very funny, because when I was in Paris, I was doing my paintings about Jim Morrison. And Jim Morrison was a very dark person. He was funny, but it's not what, when we think Jim Morrison, we don't think laugh right away. It's rather a very dark person, in alcohol, in drugs, and not very joyful. And actually his life finished really badly, and by a very sad way. By supposing we know exactly what happened, what is not so sure. Anyway, I was painting about Jim Morrison, and I was doing paintings with a lot of colors. And I was in Paris. Paris is a rather grey city. The buildings are grey. The rain gives a feeling of a lot of grey in Paris. And I was thinking so much about Los Angeles that when I was painting about Jim Morrison, who is from Los Angeles, at least when he made his career, I put a lot of colors on my painting, like if it was joyful. And now I'm in Los Angeles, so I have the color here. Everything is very colorful here. But I'm painting about Hollis, who is English, and who is a very, I would say, partly joyful man. There is a lot of fun with him, not only sadness. And you see how dark is my painting, except for the orange of the scarf. But that is really strange. Someone came to my shop yesterday and told me, oh, your paintings are so colorful. And I said, yes, and now I'm painting about someone who is very colorful by his mind, and I'm doing a very dark painting. That's really strange. I'm wondering why. I'm wondering why I see everything around Hollis dark, and why I put so much colors, so many colors, on the Jim Morrison paintings, even though Jim Morrison is so dark. Maybe there is more joy with Jim Morrison than we thought, or maybe there is more darkness with Hollis than we think. That's a possibility. I know it's you. So now I'm going to show you the details on the painting. So what did I do? Here I added some patina on the letters, because I wanted them to be more discreet on the painting, not to disappear completely, because I still want us to be able to read what is written, but I didn't want the letters, the name, to be so obvious, because what is important is the face. Also, I put more light on the hat, because it was completely disappearing. You know, the hat is a bluish black, and the background is very dark green, and we could barely see the hat, so I added some light here, and I've made the second coat on the face. So the nose is still fresh, because I worked on it this morning, but I'm rather happy with what I've done. It's really him. I can see him. It's not a copy, like a photo, exactly. Anyway, you know, if you do a painting to do exactly like a photo, what's the point of doing a painting? Just take a photo and then you have it. No, it's my translation of his face. It's how I see him. And I'm very happy with his neck. I'm very happy with that. As you can see on the color of his shirt, which is white, I had to put some black to do the shadow because the brown color was not right. It was too warm on the shirt, and on the photo it was more translated in black, so that's what I did. And here is the vivo that is barely visible, as you can see. I put some brown patina and black patina on it. And the vivo itself, I made it with emerald green and a little white. And once it was almost dry, I put the patina on it. And the background, I did the second coat. The first coat was too shiny. It's because I put too much. Let me show you. I put too much of this. I'm sorry, it's completely old. It's a medium Venetian. It's a Venetian medium. It's to make the paint dry faster. The problem is that when you put too much, your paint is a little too shiny. So I did the second coat after the first one was really well dry. So I put the second coat with less medium and a little more mineral spirit. And now I'm happy because I got a rather matte background. But anyway, once I will put it's not a final varnish that I'm going to put. I'm going to spray maybe in 1 week or 10 days or maybe 2 weeks. A varnish which is not a final varnish, it's just to protect from the dust. I'm not a big fan of the varnish on oil paint, and anyway, when you varnish a painting, an oil painting, you must wait at least 1 year before varnishing it because it takes a lot of time for the paint to dry completely. I of course did the second coat of the coat. And I, of course, did the second coat on the dies as well as on the background of the dies, which has, I don't know if you can see because it's very dark here, but there are different nuances of blue and black here. And I didn't want a flat color, also a solid color for the dies. I wanted nuances, so you can see there are different colors. And then I will have to sign my painting, and then I will have to paint the underneath because, you know, I absolutely never frame my paintings, never. I'm not a big fan of frames for an oil painting because I think that it creates something else which is not originally what was meant. It disturbs me a little. So what I do is that I paint here on the side. You see, on the side, on the top, I already did the top, the side, but I didn't do the bottom because the bottom is there. I can't paint it. So once everything will be done, I will put it upside down and I will do the bottom. And once the bottom is done, I will wait at least 2 weeks for it to dry, and then I will varnish it, and then I will hang it on my wall, and I will have a Hollis made by myself just for me. And that's exactly what I wanted, and I'm very proud of what I've done because it's not an easy thing for someone like me who is not used to do portraits every day. And I stopped painting during 9 years, so I'm a little rusted, but it's coming back. I'm learning fast, and I'm very proud of myself. A lot of emotions in this painting, I can tell you. See you soon.